Hey friends! Welcome back to Total Manga Recap. Today, we're diving into the first chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. If you like what you see, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to support the channel and beat the YouTube algorithm. This recap is my own views and opinions of the story. A huge thank you to all of the fan art contributors. Please tell me about your favorite mangas you'd like me to recap next in the comments. Let's get into it. Chapter 1, Ryomen Sukuna. Sugisawa Municipal High School, an ordinary school in Sendai City, becomes the focal point of extraordinary events. The school grounds are bustling with students hurrying to their classes, laughing with friends, and engaging in typical high school activities. The autumn air is crisp, and the leaves are turning vibrant shades of red and gold, adding a picturesque backdrop to the unfolding story. Our protagonist, Yuji Itadori, is a high school student with exceptional physical abilities. Despite his natural talent, he prefers to spend his time with the Occult Research Club, a small group that investigates supernatural occurrences. Yuji is known for his easygoing nature, friendly demeanor, and a sense of humor that endears him to his peers.
In the Occult Research Club room, which is filled with various strange artifacts and occult paraphernalia, Yuji's friends, Sasaki and Iguchi, are excitedly discussing a new discovery. The room is dimly lit, with shelves lined with mysterious books and relics. The air is thick with the scent of old paper and the faint hint of incense.
"Hey, Yuji, check this out," Sasaki exclaims, holding up a sealed box containing an ancient, shriveled finger wrapped in talisman paper. The atmosphere is electric with anticipation and a hint of fear as they ponder the object's origin and power. Meanwhile, outside the school, a mysterious figure named Megumi Fushiguro, a first-year student at Jujutsu High, is on a mission to locate the cursed object. Megumi is a serious and determined individual, with a sharp gaze and an aura of quiet intensity. His dark hair and piercing eyes add to his enigmatic presence. Megumi senses the powerful curse emanating from the school and realizes the danger it poses if left unchecked. If ordinary people are exposed to that level of curse energy, they'll definitely die, he mutters to himself, his expression grim with determination. He quickens his pace, intent on finding the cursed object before it causes any harm. As evening falls, Yuji visits his grandfather in the hospital. The room is quiet and sterile, with the faint beeping of medical machines providing a rhythmic background. Yuji's grandfather, an elderly man with a frail body but sharp eyes, lies in the hospital bed, his face a mix of sternness and affection. "You're a strong kid, Yuji. Use your strength to help others," his grandfather urges him, his voice weak but filled with conviction. Yuji nods, feeling the weight of his grandfather's words settle in his heart. The conversation is poignant, and the bond between them is evident in the way Yuji listens intently, absorbing every word. That night, tragedy strikes as Yuji's grandfather passes away. Overcome with grief, Yuji leaves the hospital and returns to the school, seeking solace in the familiar surroundings of the Occult Research Club. The room, which had once been a place of curiosity and excitement, now feels empty and hollow. Yuji finds Sasaki and Iguchi preparing to perform a ritual with the cursed object, unaware of the danger it holds. The air grows thick with malevolent energy as they begin to unwrap the talisman. "This is going to be amazing," Iguchi exclaims, his eyes wide with excitement. "I can't wait to see what happens."
Suddenly, the doors burst open, and Megumi Fushiguro rushes in, his eyes wide with alarm. "Stop, that object is extremely dangerous," he shouts, but it's too late. The curse is unleashed, and a monstrous creature materializes from the shadows, its twisted form pulsating with dark energy. "Get back," Megumi commands, summoning his Shikigami, a pair of fierce demon dogs, to protect the students. A fierce battle ensues as Megumi fights to contain the curse.
The demon dogs engage the creature, their growls and barks echoing through the room. Yuji watches in horror and amazement, his instincts screaming at him to help. "Why are you doing this?" he yells over the chaos. Megumi, struggling against the curse, replies, "It's my duty as a Jujutsu sorcerer. This curse must be contained, or it will kill everyone here." Determined to protect his friends and driven by his grandfather's final words, Yuji makes a desperate decision. He grabs the cursed finger and swallows it, hoping to absorb its power and defeat the curse. "Yuji, no," Megumi shouts, but it's too late. A surge of dark energy courses through Yuji's body as he transforms, his eyes glowing with a malevolent light. In an instant, Yuji gains control of the curse's power, and with a mighty roar, he destroys the monstrous creature. The room falls silent as the oppressive aura dissipates. Megumi stares in disbelief as the cursed energy subsides, leaving Yuji standing amidst the wreckage, his expression a mix of triumph and fear. What have you done?" Megumi asks, his voice trembling. Yuji, panting from the exertion, looks at his hands, feeling the immense power coursing through him. "I did what I had to do," he replies, his voice steady despite the turmoil within. Megumi approaches cautiously, realizing the gravity of the situation. "You've just swallowed one of Sukuna's fingers. You're now a vessel for the most malevolent curse in history," he explains, his eyes filled with concern. The dust settles in the occult research club room as Yuji and Megumi process the gravity of their situation. The room, now a battlefield, is littered with the remnants of the monstrous curse. The oppressive energy has dissipated, but the air remains thick with tension. Just then, the door opens, and a tall figure with striking white hair and a blindfold covering his eyes steps in. It's Gojo Satoru, a powerful Jujutsu sorcerer known for his formidable strength and carefree attitude. "So, you're the one who swallowed Sukuna's finger," Gojo says, his voice light, but carrying an undertone of seriousness. He surveys the scene with an amused expression, as if the chaos is nothing more than a minor inconvenience. "I suppose introductions are in order. I'm Gojo Satoru, and I'm here to take you to Jujutsu High." Gojo's casual demeanor does little to ease the tension. He approaches Yuji, who is still grappling with the power surging through him. "How are you feeling, kid?" Gojo asks, his tone both curious and concerned. Yuji, still catching his breath, replies, "It's overwhelming, but I feel like I can control it." Gojo nods thoughtfully. "Good, because what you've done is incredibly dangerous. Sukuna's curse is not something to be taken lightly." He then turns to Megumi, who is visibly relieved by Gojo's presence. "Fushiguro, you did well to contain the situation, but we need to act fast. The higher-ups will want to execute Yuji to prevent Sukuna from wreaking havoc." To demonstrate the gravity of the situation, Gojo proposes a test. He suggests that Yuji let Sukuna take control for 10 seconds to see how well he can handle the curse's power. "Don't worry. If things get out of hand, I'll step in," Gojo assures them with a confident smile. Megumi looks worried, but Yuji agrees, determined to prove himself. Yuji closes his eyes, and for a brief moment, he lets Sukuna's malevolent spirit take over. His body transforms, and Sukuna's voice, dripping with malice, emerges. Well, this body isn't half bad," Sukuna sneers, looking around with a predatory gaze. But before Sukuna can cause any harm, Yuji forces him back, regaining control. The transformation leaves Yuji panting but resolute. Gojo watches with interest. "Impressive. Most impressive. But remember, this power is a double-edged sword. Use it wisely," he advises. "Now, let's get you to Jujutsu High. We have a lot to discuss, and your training starts immediately." At the gates of Jujutsu High, a secret institution dedicated to training Jujutsu sorcerers. The campus is vast, with traditional Japanese architecture blended seamlessly with modern facilities. The air here feels different, charged with a subtle, almost calming energy that contrasts sharply with the oppressive aura of the curse they just faced. As they walk through the campus, Gojo explains the nature of curses and the role of Jujutsu Sorcerers. Curses are born from the negative emotions of humans. Fear, hatred, sorrow, they all contribute to the creation of curses. Our job is to exorcise them and protect humanity from their malice, Gojo explains, his voice taking on a more serious tone. Yuji listens intently, absorbing the new information. He glances at Megumi, who walks beside him with a stoic expression. Despite the seriousness of the situation, Yuji can't help but feel a sense of excitement. He's stepping into a world that is both dangerous and fascinating, and he's determined to prove himself. Inside Jujutsu High, they are greeted by Principal Masamichi Yaga, a stern man with a no-nonsense attitude. The principal's office is filled with various cursed objects and talismans, giving it a rather eerie ambience. Principal Yaga scrutinizes Yuji, assessing his potential and the risks associated with hosting Sukuna's power. You understand that your life is no longer your own, right? As long as you harbor Sukuna, you're a target for curses, Yaga warns, his eyes piercing into Yuji's. Yuji nods, understanding the gravity of his situation. I understand. I'll do whatever it takes to control this power and use it to help others, he declares, his voice filled with determination. Principal Yaga sighs, his stern expression softening slightly. We'll see about that. For now, you need to undergo a trial to determine your fate. Consider it an entrance exam of sorts, he says. The trial involves exorcising a powerful curse within the school grounds, a test of both Yuji's newfound abilities and his resolve. Yuji, now joined by Megumi and Nobara Kugisaki, another first-year student, prepares for the trial. Nobara is a fiery and confident girl with a talent for jujutsu sorcery. She eyes Yuji skeptically. So, you're the guy who ate Sukuna's finger. You better not slow us down, she says, her tone challenging. Yuji smiles nervously. I'll do my best, he replies. The trio enters the cursed building within the school grounds, a place that exudes a malevolent energy. The atmosphere is tense, and the air is thick with dark energy. As they move deeper into the building, they encounter several curses. Yuji quickly learns to harness Sukuna's power, channeling it through his own strength. Focus on your emotions. Control the curse. Don't let it control you, Megumi advises. In the midst of the battle, Yuji is overwhelmed by a particularly strong curse. As he struggles to fight back, Sukuna's malevolent voice echoes in his mind. Let me handle this, Sukuna taunts, trying to take control. Yuji resists, determined to prove his worth. No, I won't let you take over, he shouts, his voice filled with defiance. With renewed resolve, Yuji unleashes a powerful attack, exorcising the curse. His classmates look on, impressed by his strength and determination. Not bad for a newbie, Nobara admits, a hint of respect in her voice. Megumi nods in agreement. You have potential, Yuji, but remember, this is just the beginning, he says.
Chapter 2, For Myself.
The morning sun casts a warm glow over the sprawling campus of Jujutsu High School, a place where tradition and modernity blend seamlessly. The buildings, with their traditional Japanese architecture and modern facilities, stand as a testament to the school's rich history and commitment to the future. The serene environment is a stark contrast to the dangerous world of curses and jujutsu sorcery that Yuji Itadori has just entered. Yuji Itadori, now a student at Jujutsu High, wakes up in his new dormitory room. The room is simple but comfortable, with a bed, a desk, and a few personal belongings. The events of the previous day still weigh heavily on his mind. He looks out the window, taking in the peaceful scenery. This place is amazing, he thinks, trying to reconcile the tranquility of the campus with the chaos of his recent experiences. As he gets ready for the day, Yuji reflects on his grandfather's final words and the immense responsibility that now rests on his shoulders. I have to get stronger. I need to control Sukuna's power and use it to help others, he reminds himself, feeling a renewed sense of determination. Yuji makes his way to the training grounds, where he finds Gojo Satoru waiting for him. Gojo, with his characteristic blindfold and carefree demeanor, stands out against the backdrop of the traditional buildings. Good morning, Yuji, ready for your first day of training? Gojo asks, a playful grin on his face. Yeah, I am, Yuji replies, his voice filled with determination. Gojo nods approvingly, that's the spirit. Today, we'll start with the basics. Controlling cursed energy is crucial for a Jujutsu sorcerer. You need to learn how to channel it and use it effectively in battle, Gojo explains, his tone shifting to one of seriousness. The training grounds are vast, with open fields and various obstacles designed to test and enhance the students' abilities. Gojo begins by explaining the fundamentals of cursed energy. Think of cursed energy as an invisible force that flows through your body. You need to channel it precisely to unleash powerful attacks, he says, demonstrating by summoning a burst of cursed energy that sends a shockwave rippling through the ground. Yuji watches in awe, eager to learn. Your turn, Gojo says, stepping back to give Yuji space. Yuji takes a deep breath, focusing on the energy within him. He extends his hand and attempts to replicate Gojo's move. A faint glow surrounds his hand, but the energy fizzles out before he can release it. Not bad for a first try, Gojo comments encouragingly. After an intense morning of training, Yuji meets up with his classmates, Megumi Fushiguro and Nobara Kugisaki, for lunch. The cafeteria is bustling with students, each engaged in lively conversations. The trio finds a table and sits down, their trays filled with the simple yet hearty fare served at Jujutsu High. So, how was your first training session with Gojo-sensei? Nobara asks, a mischievous glint in her eyes. Yuji laughs, intense, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. Megumi, ever the stoic, nods approvingly. You'll need all the training you can get. We're going on a mission later, he informs Yuji. The scene shifts to the mission briefing room, where the trio is joined by Gojo and Principal Yaga. The room is filled with maps, charts, and various cursed objects. Principal Yaga stands at the front, his stern expression commanding attention. Your mission is to investigate a series of disappearances in a nearby residential area. We suspect that a curse is responsible, he explains. Gojo steps forward, his usual playful demeanor replaced with a more serious tone. This will be a real test of your abilities. Stay alert and work together. And remember, your primary objective is to locate and exorcise the curse. Don't take unnecessary risks, he advises, his gaze fixed on Yuji. The trio gears up and heads to the mission site, a quiet residential neighborhood that has been plagued by mysterious disappearances. The sun is setting, casting long shadows over the empty streets. The air is filled with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves. As they arrive at the location, Yuji feels a sense of unease. This place feels wrong, he mutters, his eyes scanning the darkened alleyways. Megumi nods, his expression serious. Stay close and be ready for anything, he advises. Nobara, her face set with determination, grips her hammer tightly. Let's end this quickly, she says. The team moves cautiously through the neighborhood, their senses heightened. They soon come across a narrow alleyway that exudes a palpable sense of dread. I think we found our target, Megumi says, his voice low. As they venture deeper into the alley, they encounter several minor curses. Yuji, with his newfound training, manages to exorcise them with relative ease. Nice work, Itadori, Nobara praises, her tone genuinely impressed. However, their mission takes a turn for the worse when they come face to face with a much stronger curse. The creature is grotesque, with multiple limbs and a gaping mouth filled with sharp teeth. Its eyes glow with malevolent intent as it lunges at them. "Get back!" Megumi shouts, summoning his Shikigami to fend off the curse. Nobara joins the fray, her hammer and nails gleaming in the dim light. Yuji, despite his fear, steps forward to help his friends. He channels his cursed energy, feeling it surge through his body. "I won't let you hurt them," he declares, launching a powerful punch at the curse. The impact sends the creature reeling, but it quickly recovers and retaliates with a swipe of its clawed hand. Yuji barely dodges, his heart pounding in his chest. In the heat of the battle, Yuji hears Sukuna's voice in his mind, mocking him. "Pathetic. Let me show you how it's done," Sukuna taunts. Yuji struggles to maintain control, refusing to let the curse take over. "No, I won't let you out," he yells, clenching his fists. With a final burst of energy, he delivers a decisive blow, exorcising the curse once and for all. The battle leaves Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara exhausted but victorious. The oppressive aura dissipates, and the neighborhood returns to its peaceful state. "We did it," Nobara says, a triumphant smile spreading across her face. Megumi nods, his usual stoicism softened by a rare smile. "Good job, everyone. We handled it well," he acknowledges. Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara having completed their mission and returned to Jujutsu High. Despite their success, the day is not over, and their training continues. They gather in the training grounds once more, ready to push their limits further under Gojo Satoru's watchful eye. Gojo stands before them, his usual blindfold in place, a playful grin on his face. "All right, team. Now that you've handled a mission, it's time to fine-tune your skills. Remember, controlling cursed energy is not just about power. It's about precision and efficiency," he explains, his tone both encouraging and challenging. Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara nod in unison, their expressions reflecting a mix of determination and exhaustion. Gojo starts with some individual exercises, focusing on their unique strengths and weaknesses. He guides them through various techniques, ensuring they understand the nuances of their abilities. Yuji, in particular, finds himself struggling with the intricacies of controlling Sukuna's power. The malevolent spirit within him constantly whispers temptations and taunts, making it difficult to concentrate. "Focus, Itadori. Feel the energy, let it flow naturally," Gojo instructs, his voice calm and steady. Yuji closes his eyes, trying to block out Sukuna's voice and focus on the cursed energy coursing through him. Slowly, he begins to find a rhythm, the cursed energy becoming an extension of his own strength. Despite his efforts, Sukuna's presence remains a constant threat. "You're weak, Itadori. You'll never master this power," Sukuna sneers. Yuji grits his teeth, determined to prove the curse wrong. With a deep breath, he channels his energy, managing to produce a controlled burst of power. Gojo nods approvingly. "Good. Keep practicing. You'll get there," he says. Nobara works on her precision with her hammer and nails, her movements swift and decisive. She sets up targets at various distances, each representing different curse types. You need to be quick and accurate. In battle, hesitation can be fatal, Gojo advises, watching her closely. Nobara takes a deep breath, focusing on her targets. One by one, she launches her nails with pinpoint accuracy, each hit echoing through the training grounds. Megumi focuses on summoning and controlling his Shikigami. He practices pushing them to their limits within his domain, creating scenarios that mimic real battle conditions. Your domain is your advantage. Use it wisely and make sure your Shikigami respond to your commands instantly, Gojo comments, impressed by Megumi's progress. Megumi nods, his face set with determination. He raises his hand, and the Shikigami respond instantly, moving with fluid grace and precision. After an intense training session, Gojo calls for a break. The trio collapses onto the grass, their bodies aching, but their spirits high. They share a moment of camaraderie, laughing and joking about their struggles and successes. "We've come a long way, haven't we?" Nobara muses, her voice soft. "Yeah, but we still have a lot to learn," Megumi replies, his tone thoughtful. Yuji nods, feeling a sense of unity and purpose. "Whatever comes next, we'll face it together," he says, his words a promise to his friends and to himself. As the sun sets, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, the students return to their dorms. Yuji sits by the window, looking out at the tranquil campus. The events of the past days play through his mind, and he feels a mix of excitement and apprehension. "I'm really doing this," he thinks, a smile tugging at his lips. "I'm going to become a Jujutsu Sorcerer." Just as Yuji is about to settle in for the night, there's a knock on his door. It's Gojo, holding a small box. "Hey, Yuji, I thought you might want this," he says, handing over the box. Yuji opens it to find a small collection of sweets and a note. "Consider it a welcome gift. You've had a tough start, but you're doing great. Keep it up," the note reads. Yuji looks up, gratitude shining in his eyes. "Thanks, Gojo-sensei," he says, his voice filled with emotion. The next morning, the trio gathers in the mission briefing room once more. Principal Yaga stands at the front, his expression serious. "We've received reports of a powerful curse manifesting in an old theater. This will be your next mission," he explains, pointing to a map of the city. Gojo steps forward, his usual grin in place. "This mission will be tougher than the last, but I have confidence in your abilities. Remember, work together and stay focused," he advises. Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara nod, their faces set with determination. They gear up and head out, ready to face the new challenge. The old theater stands in the middle of a deserted part of town, its once grand facade now crumbling and covered in vines. The air is thick with an oppressive energy, and the sun barely penetrates the heavy clouds that hang over the area. As they approach, Yuji feels a chill run down his spine. "This place gives me the creeps," he mutters. Megumi nods, his eyes scanning the building. "Stay sharp. This curse could be anywhere," he warns. Nobara, gripping her hammer tightly, adds, "Let's get in and out quickly." They step through the broken doors, their senses on high alert. The interior of the theater is dark and foreboding, with rows of broken seats and a stage shrouded in shadows. The oppressive aura is almost suffocating, and the trio moves cautiously through the space. "This place feels like a tomb," Yuji whispers, his voice barely audible. Suddenly, they hear a low growl echoing through the theater. "There it is," Megumi says, his voice tense. A massive, shadowy figure emerges from the darkness, its eyes glowing with malevolent intent. "Be ready," Nobara mutters, her grip on her hammer tightening. The curse lunges at them with terrifying speed, its claws slashing through the air. Megumi summons his Shikigami to engage the creature, their forms darting around the curse, trying to find an opening. Yuji, channeling his cursed energy, delivers powerful blows. But the curse is relentless, its attacks growing more ferocious by the second. Nobara uses her nails with precision, aiming for the curse's vital points. "Straw doll technique," she cries, her hammer smashing into a nail embedded in the curse's body. The curse howls in pain, its movements becoming more erratic and aggressive. "We need to hit it harder," Megumi yells, trying to keep the curse at bay. Despite their efforts, the curse regenerates quickly, and the trio is pushed to their limits. Yuji hears Sukuna's voice in his mind, mocking him once more. "You're still too weak, Itadori. Let me take over," Sukuna sneers. Yuji grits his teeth, refusing to give in. "No, I can do this," he shouts, mustering every ounce of strength he has left. In a final, desperate push, Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara launch a coordinated assault. Megumi's Shikigami tear into the curse's limbs, holding it in place. Nobara, with a fierce cry, drives her hammer into the curse's chest, and Yuji, gathering all his strength, delivers a powerful punch that shatters the curse's core. It's over. Yuji yells as the curse disintegrates into a cloud of dark energy. The room falls silent as the oppressive aura of the curse fades away. The trio stands victorious but exhausted, their bodies battered and bruised. "We did it," Nobara breathes, a triumphant smile spreading across her face. Megumi nods, his expression softened with relief. "Good job, everyone," he says, pride in his voice. Yuji, though tired, feels a deep sense of accomplishment and camaraderie. "We make a pretty good team," he says, smiling at his friends. As they make their way back to Jujutsu High, the trio reflects on the mission and the challenges they faced. Yuji feels a sense of pride and camaraderie, knowing that they have grown stronger together. "We've still got a lot to learn, but I think we're on the right track," he says, his eyes shining with determination. Nobara and Megumi agree, their spirits lifted by the successful mission. Back at Jujutsu High, the trio meets with Gojo and Principal Yaga to debrief. The principal listens intently as they recount the events of the mission. The principal listens intently as they recount the events of the mission, nodding thoughtfully. "You've all shown great promise," he says, his voice filled with pride. "But remember, the path of a Jujutsu sorcerer is fraught with danger. Stay vigilant and keep honing your skills." Gojo, his usual playful demeanor returning, claps Yuji on the back. "You did great, Yuji. Keep this up, and you'll be a top-notch sorcerer in no time," he says, his smile infectious. Yuji, feeling a renewed sense of purpose, nods. "I won't let you down," he promises. Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara standing together, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Their bond has strengthened, and their resolve has deepened. With the support of their mentors and each other, they are prepared to continue their journey as Jujutsu sorcerers, determined to protect humanity from the threat of curses. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe for part 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen Manga Recap. I hope you enjoyed listening to my recap. Please let me know in the comments other mangas you think I might enjoy recapping. Thank you for being you, and I'll see you next time.